Guys, it's time. It's really time now. And after listening to the third speaker, I stopped rewriting my speech now. And I guess many of you really feel the connection. Many feel of you the similarities in the things what we all share together. We're here on the boat, and there was a reason why we came on this boat. For sure, it was Katrin, it was Hermann, but we are connected. We know each other. I'm sharing a little bit my story, or what brought me here. It was a dream, and it came really true. It was on the next day that I know, when I had a dream, that I have to go to Brazil. It was 4 years ago, and I did not know what was the dream about. I just knew I stop everything what I'm doing and I'm really going to Brazil. I did not have any plan, I did not have any clue, I had no network, I had no real connection with Brazil at the time. And I went there, and it was a big gift, and it was a big complete change and shift. And what I can bring back now here after 4 years is some good news. The shift is happening. The shift is really going on. But it takes us, all of you, all of us, to really make it true. It's not easy. We are now shifting from a system which is so well established. We are shifting from one organizational catastrophe, which worked so very well, that it's now fighting us, who are really doing a different thing. And it's not fighting us, it's us fighting them. It's us fighting us. It's us not accepting who we are. It's us still showing the strong side, instead of really showing we are suffering. 4 years ago, I went to Brazil. I did not know what will happen. And at that time, I had just one dream. I wanted to visit people, real change makers, and centers where transformation is going on. And for me, this was schools. So I went to Brazil, visited some schools, came back, was like, okay, I don't know anything about schools in Austria. Maybe I should first check out schools in Austria. Not so bad idea, actually. And what I saw was, I was really amazed, because we're all talking about the revolution, we're all talking that we need a change, we need a revolution, we need something different. And we're not aware that it's already going on. We are the ones who have to take the next step and make the shift. People within the system, we are all in the system. There's no person outside of the system. And I went to eco villages and places they really tried to make their own vision. They made really nice, beautiful projects. And very often still was the same illusion in a much beautiful way, in a much more beautiful place, with beach, with stars. They are so close that you really can touch them. But in the end, we all still come back. It's the freedom that we're searching, but it's also the responsibility that we all can collectively make the change. And this is the important message that I really want to share today. I want to share, because people still asking me, what are you doing? You're just making holidays, you're just traveling around. Who are you? And a good question, I know. I still don't know that. 3 years ago, we collected some people. We made the call and said, okay, guys, we want to make the education revolution happening. We really want to show the whole world it's out there, it's happening, it's going on. Just go visit schools, talk to teachers, talk to the kids. And what we realized was not many of us have any idea what is going on in schools, because we are so focused on what we are doing. We are so focused on us. We are so focused on our own struggle. And at the same time, we're all struggling the same struggle. We want to have a different life. We want to have a different way. We want to have a different world. And this is what we have to do together. None of us can do it alone. Chris, he is an inspiration. He is somebody who really steps up. But it takes thousands of people, it takes millions of people who really do it without money. And it's never the thing which is really keeping us back, the money. It's us, ourselves. who really build borders. And this is what we have to change. We have to break down borders. We have to meet each other. We have to touch each other. We share the same story. What's happening now is nobody knows. We don't know where we are going to. Nobody knows. It's a totally a transformation, a shift, which is so quick, so fast. It's amazing. It's 6 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we didn't have internet. We didn't have emails. And all of a sudden, we know each other by 6 other persons. Our connectivity is like, I know Obama by 6 other people. Imagine what kind of power this is. You, by the way, as well. It's not only me. And what we started to do is we travel around, and I didn't want to travel alone. For good reason, I'm really bad in organizing. And I asked some people to join me. And there are some people actually here who really joined some EDON tours. And we do something which is what we called we are outside of the system for a certain period of time. We make a call and say, okay guys, we are going to a region, and then we really mobilize people, schools, decision makers there, and we really start movements. The first time was 3 years ago, and it started here in Pannonia. It started with Katja and Hermann. This is where Tudor and me were using the space for making the call, for getting some people. 70 people showed up. None of them knew each other before. We all met the first time in Amsterdam. We traveled. We wanted to travel with bus through Europe, through Northern Europe, 4 countries. We met in the Nomads Business School. We wanted to go to the Democratic School in Germany, and then we went to the Chaos Pilots and ended up in Sweden at the YIP, Youth Initiative Program. And what we realized was it was really crazy, because the bus organization, like 1 week before, said, no, we don't give you the bus. It's sorry, we cancel. And 70 people came, people from Puerto Rico, like a headmaster, a principal with his team, like 45 years. 54 years, and like really, you know, we did not know anything. The way we run our stuff, we don't have a project plan, we don't have a plan what we're going to do. We really deal with what is coming up. We want to experience what does it mean to really not to know what's happening. When you really completely trust yourself, but you also trust the people around you. What can we do with that? So the first EDON tour, really, we hitchhiked the first step. The principal took the train, then we took another train, we took the bus, we even flew. Everything turned out very well. We did not have any loss. We didn't make more money, no. But we really accomplished it. From that on, a stone started to roll, and it's still rolling. Last year we went to Brazil. We went there for 3 months. And this was really interesting, and I want to share 2 stories with you from EDON tours. The first one was like in Brazil. I went there in April, May, and I wanted to prepare everything. And I realized there's something going on. I don't know, I could not really sense it. The time I went back to Austria, to Europe, the demonstrations started. Protests all around the world, all around Brazil. 1 million people on the streets. They really wanted to change something. They went out, they went on the streets, they really want to say, hey guys, we are here. We really deserve something more than just corruption. We deserve more than just the World Championship. We need better schools, we need a better infrastructure, we need something for us. The system is not serving us. When I came back in September, I totally felt something different. It changed something. You really could feel it in the air. It was in the air. People were really eager to go on the streets. People, if somebody said something which were not in their, or if they had a different opinion, they were saying it. And this was so different in Brazil. It was a dictatorship like some time ago. You really could feel it. There was a collective shift of consciousness. And I think this is what we all have to see and to give further, to tell, to talk to people. We are the ones who have to say it and to do it. And we are struggling all the time, I know. Because we are still in the system. There's no person who is outside of the system. And the system has to change within inside. And it's us. Us who really have to support each other. This whole movement is just going on if it's collective. And it starts with yourself. because you're attracting what you really have inside. If you're shining inside, if you really talk what you walk, or walk what you talk actually, then you really see it outside. And there will be no revolution outside if it's not inside. This revolution which is coming out now, it's really inside you. It's inside us. It's inside me. And this is the way we have to go. You want to stop? Okay. Just one. It's not you. One short story. 6 weeks ago, I came back from the place where we really wanted to organize the next Edon tour. And it was the first time that I really saw borders. And I don't believe in borders. I don't believe in property rights. I don't believe that something belongs to somebody. It all belongs to everybody. And at that time, 6 weeks ago, 3 small young guys were kidnapped just 30 kilometers away from me. I left the place next day, and it was really horrible. I was lucky to get out, because just a week later, the war in Israel and Palestine started. It was the guys, the 3 Jewish guys who were kidnapped, and they were kidnapped like not far away from me. I was there, and it's so close to us. It's us who really have to stand up and stop telling the same narratives, or stop telling the same stories that we have heard from our parents, from our grandparents. We can be the first generations right now to really be liberated if you believe in new stories and if you write our own new stories. And we have to tell them, not to keep them for ourselves. Thank you.